This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Tim Daniel. I am a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan, and I've been podcasting about this team for 5 years at former publications such as Late Night Reds and the Riverfront. And I want to thank you all for spending some time with me on your Sunday afternoon as we discuss an unfortunate Cincinnati Reds loss to the New York Mets today at Citi Field, 3-2. If you were just checking me out for the first time, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Please be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube and hit that notification button so you can not only get my show after each and every game, but you can get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. Or if you can't follow us along on YouTube, check us on your podcast app of choice. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Today, right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. On today's show, one of my favorite shows is Seinfeld, so I had to use the no soup for you pun and say no sleep for you. We're going to dive into big picture of the game, what that means, and I'm going to talk about Ron Kulpa being bad at his job. Marte playing in right field today. Didn't really have a whole lot of opportunity, but really curious to see how that goes as well. And then Andrew Abbott, first game post All-Star break, thought he pitched really well. I'm going to discuss him and get his thoughts on there as well. And I'm going to hear from you guys. I see already the chat is lively. We have a lot we're getting to. Jason agreed with me about Ron Kulpa. I feel like that's going to be a theme of today's show, which I'm normally not blame the umpire guy, and I'm still not blame the umpire guy. But the umpire guy did not do the Reds any favors today. So let's get started. Whoops.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, so big picture is the Reds lost today. You know what? It sucks. It's disappointing that they lost, but I'm still very happy with the series. I'm still very happy they went to New York for the first series post All-Star break and got two big wins and had a chance to win today. And really, I mean, I can come from some games and complain. I don't really have one on today. Like, if you want to nitpick, sure, you could probably say Matt McLain could have made a better throw on the contact play when the Mets scored there. But that's a hard play to make. And if you play devil's advocate, he saved it from being multiple runs when he stopped that ball from getting to the outfield. Really good play, hard throw to make. That's tough. The Reds should probably put that one in their back pocket because that was a team to see that actually knows how to run the contact play. And I think in my lifetime as a Reds fan, they have not been able to do that. And so, yeah, it's a big series win. You would have liked to have seen them pull today off, especially because they got off to an early lead when Ellie had that RBI in the first inning off a really good pitcher. But you know what? This game's a little easier to take when you do win those first two games and you lose a close game. You were fought with it. You were competitive. I mean, really, how many times do I come on here and I'm like, wow, they really dropped the ball with runners in scoring position. Wasn't bad today. Oh, they left too many guys on base. They left less guys on base than the Mets did today, and the Mets were worse than the Reds in runners in scoring position. I don't know. I think that there are days in baseball. I don't think all losses are the same. Now, obviously, it's a bummer because you want to see them get the win and stay in the wild card race. But, I thought the Mets were decent today, and there's a lot to take away from this series that feel really good. The fact that Francisco Lindor did nothing in this series at the plate. Legitimately was garbage at the plate. That was first step that you're really happy with. Starting pitching doesn't look like they missed a step during the break. Went out there, did their job, did their thing. Thought bullpen pretty solid. Thought they were really good throughout the day as well. And just thought that this was just, something where even though you lose, you can feel good. Now, Santiago Espinal playing, Connor Joe starting a game. Never loved that. But I can live with it when they have, games like series like they had this weekend. I hope that those aren't guys that they're relying on deep in the future. But, we know Terry Francona obviously loves Santiago Espinal for some reason or another. By the way, Noelvi Marte got moved to third base and Espinal got taken out of the game. Terry Francona is doing something interesting here. Steven brings this up, and I agree with it. So he said the camera operators were really bad today. Yeah, I thought Marte's hit in the ninth was a homer. The way that they the way the cameraman used that, and the way he kind of looked like he was doing like a little bit of like watching the ball in the air. That looked like a homer. It was a homer at GBP, probably a few other stadiums. I guess I didn't realize how big center field was at Citi Field. But so, you can take that. So here's where I'm going to gripe about the game today. And look, is Ron Kulpa the reason the Reds lost? No. Did he play a part in the reason the Reds lost? Yes. Just the last couple days in general, not just today, but umpiring's been atrocious. Umpiring's been absolutely atrocious. And today it was really bad. I mean, that Juan Soto walk on Brent Suter is terrible, and that leads to the go-ahead run. That first pitch, you see Brent Suter's body language of like, where was that a ball? And that's just unacceptable. That's just unacceptable. And so the first 3 or 4 innings, I listened to Tommy and Chris because I was cutting the grass, and it was like every other at bat, you'd hear Tommy be like, well, that guy didn't really appreciate that. It's just, yeah, it was terrible. Johnny says it here. I'm ready for the challenge system. Yeah, I'm ready for ABS for sure. I've been to AAA games and I've seen it, and it works just fine. It doesn't slow the game down. But it's days like today where that really comes in. I'm really looking forward to the MLB umpire scorecard that comes out for today to see what Kulpa did. But the thing about it is look, you can live with an umpire having a bad game and, even costing you a game. But these are 2 teams that are fighting for their playoff lives, that are within games of each other in a wild card spot. You have to call that game better. If you lose, you lose. All right. You can deal with that. And I think the Reds are ones that they're going to walk out of this series yeah, we should have won today, but we're happy with the series for sure. I think we all as Reds fans feel that way today. But we have to have these games be called a little better, and they have to be called fairly, or you have to do the ABS system tomorrow if you're not going to. Because I thought today it played a part in how the game went. I don't think it's why the Reds lost. I'm never going to go in here and blame the umpires or like that. It's such a defense attorney thing to do. But yeah, happy to take 2 out of 3 and happy that they, had a chance to sweep today, and it just didn't happen. So can they carry what they did this weekend into Washington? Because they really play up to these really good teams, right? And we all talk about it, right? We've all had these days where we talk about will the Reds play to their competition? So Washington is a team that's already beat them this year. I really hope that they go out there tomorrow and realize that they need this game and they need to get this series and they need to find a way to win it before they come home. But this is a good series. It's a good weekend. We'll take it. So the Reds did something a little different today, and they talked about Novi Marte got his first start in right field. So I want to talk about that and give my thoughts on it as well, and we'll get to that right after this. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for that extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make things even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups. I got to tell you guys, I'm on a roll right now. My last 4 Reds bets have hit. I should probably start sharing this on X every day. Would you guys like that if I did that on the socials? It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. Whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet ride into the ninth inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. Are you new to FanDuel? New customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today and visit FanDuel.com to get started. Want to give a big shout out to our everydayers here at the Reds Postcast for spending some time with us today, even though it was a bummer of a day for the Reds to take a tough loss. But if you're just checking me out for the first time, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please be sure to hit that notification button so you can not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but you can check out Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. If you can't follow us here on YouTube, please follow us on your podcast app of choice. We definitely are there as well. If you want to kind of talk about this game, where did it kind of go in the Mets' favor? Let's talk about that here in just a moment.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It was the Juan Soto walk. I did do my Dr. Evil thing again because I saw a commenter say something about it yesterday, so it made me laugh. The Juan Soto walk, really, where Ron Kulpa just put him on base for free, basically, and gave the Mets a chance to pull one off. That's what that was. But, it's a bummer. Yeah, so Jeremy says this here. Actually, I really like this. So, Jeremy, I kind of made the same point in the first segment. I wasn't sure if you got here on time. I thought he for sure made the right play. I have no issues whatsoever with what Matt McClain made there. That's a tough throw, man. Especially like he fell to the ground to stop it from going to the outfield. Had to hop up in time. Have no issues whatsoever with anything Matt McClain did there. That was a great play in hindsight. Like I said, he keeps it a 1-run game instead of it being 4-2 with that stop. So absolutely happy with that. Just didn't work out today. You know what? That's baseball. So the Reds did a thing today where they put Marte in right field. And I don't really know how to grade it because I didn't really feel like he got a lot of opportunities. But what I will say that I really thought was interesting was I'm going to first talk about the throw where on the Brandon Nimmo RBI that he throws to the plate. Didn't hate it. Thought the arm looked solid. Looked like he could really stick there. The athleticism, I think, can make it a pretty good transition for him there as well. So I'm not against it. I don't think it's a bad idea to try it, especially for a team that's always going to cry wolf and say that they don't have any money. But I didn't hate the move. I didn't hate it at all. I thought he did okay in the little bits there. I thought the flexibility of being able to bring him in to play third base later in the game, I thought was great. Watching the throw again right now. It's not a bad throw. It's not a bad throw. It just has a one hop. It's a hard throw to make for your first time playing right field in your life. And I wouldn't say he looked like a natural out there, but I thought it was okay. I also thought that it was nice that, you see a lot when guys are playing new positions where they kind of can't get it together at the plate, where they're kind of taking it with what they're learning and maybe they're focusing too much on that. Thought he had some decent at-bats today. That ninth inning hit, like I talked about, that was pretty hard hit, just died in the outfield, and then had a single earlier in the day as well. Did get picked off at second base, but I think that they were talking about that too in the radio booth as well, where that pitcher-catcher duo had been 1 for 2 on the season. They'd given up one stolen base, and they'd thrown one guy out, and that was the only stolen base opportunities on them throughout the year. Thought it was a good thing to see. I still want them to go get a power hitting outfielder at the deadline. I still, who was it? Was it Nikita? I think she popped in. Yeah. She said, Marte in right field. So, Espinal can get in the lineup. Genius. That's really funny. Actually, I thought that was really good. But I'm open to seeing him do it more. I just don't want that to be the game plan, because how many times have we seen the Reds do this? How many times have we seen them be like, well, instead of going and trading for an outfielder, let's just throw someone out there who's never done it before. Oh, last year they did that with Santiago Espinal. Right. Seems like a thing they like to do. But his athleticism seems like it might be a decent transition for him. His arm, I certainly think he'd do it. And then Cowboy kind of made the point. No, Chris Walsh, I'm sorry, I meant to say. Cowboy was on the TV broadcast where with his third base defense this year being a little up and down, they said it might be something where it can instill his confidence a little more, because he's not going to have every ball hit at him, basically. He's not at the hot corner in that circumstance. Also made a really nice play at third base today when he had to run down that fly ball and get Santillan out of the way. So good day for Marte. Positive first steps in the new position. Want to see if he can do it a little more. Dave said it here. I also wouldn't mind seeing him do that a little more. I don't mind the flexibility. I just don't want that to be game plan one. So if this is like a backup game plan, all for it. So Andrew Abbott today, first game after his all-star performance, was really good. So much that he's our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Showed why he's an all-star. Showed why he was an all-star. And Lonnie says right here, you feel good when you're going for a sweep and he's on the mound. I think he was really good today. And he's always really good, right? 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk. Solid day. And going to say the Tim Daniel line, when he left, they had a chance to win the game. And guess what? They almost won the game. Felt like they had some, I don't blame any individual player for the loss today. I feel like there was a few things that couldn't get going. There was a couple plays that kind of stunk. The Austin Hayes double play obviously wasn't ideal, but that was a good played game. And I thought Marte was really, really, really okay, but I thought Andrew Abbott was really solid. Another quality start for him. Keeps this really good season going. What point do we start? I guess because he doesn't qualify statistically, but at some point, are we going to... Yeah, Johnny, you're absolutely right. A couple of the hits he gave up a real soft hit too that just kind of found where the defenders weren't. You can live with that. I think I can always live with Andrew Abbott giving you 2 earned runs. And the Reds barely lose when he starts. So just an outlier today. Just a bit of a bummer. Brent Suter, like I said, got squeezed. Not mad at him today. Happens. And then Tony Santillan pitched for the 475th time. Also, pretty good today. So, felt bad for Suter, man. Felt really bad for Suter. Felt like Ron Kulpa just took that game away from him. But we live on to play another day. The Red Legs take the unfortunate loss today to the New York Mets 3-2 at Citi Field. The Mets 3 runs on 7 hits and an error. The Reds 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Alexis Diaz, your winning pitcher. He is now 5-0. Brent Suter takes his first loss of the year. He's now 1-1. And wow, just had like some Pepsi hit me. Ryan Sinek gets his second save of the season. Now, you had a nice first start to the All-Star break. Let's go. Yeah, Rags, you're absolutely right. He says right here. So if this was GABP, Marte ties in the 9th, 103 exit velocity and 30% launch angle. Edwin Diaz, you're right, Steve. I'm so used to talking about Alexis for 7 years too long. But now, can they keep it going? Can they go to DC and against lesser competition and put it together? Let's see. They start tomorrow, game 1 of 3 in DC. Brady Singer takes the hill. He's 7-7 with a 432. He'll be going against Jake Irvin, who is 7-5 with a 458. And we're at a first pitch tomorrow at 6:45. I'm very happy to get back to 6:45 for a couple days. But everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I think the Red Legs are still in a good place, still in the fight. Let's just make the team a little better at the deadline, like Emilio Pagan said yesterday. Can't wait to hear what Jeff and Steve have to say about everything from this weekend, including Emilio Pagan throwing dagger to the front office. I'm Tim Daniel. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go Red Legs. I'll see you all tomorrow night.